Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Auburn Live Show, Recruiting Edition, also known as the Shriveled Pod. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3, and today I'm joined by our recruiting analyst, Mr. Cole Pinkston. Cole, how the hell are you?
Man, I'm it's one day until signing day. So
24 hours, less than.
yeah, man, this is where you make your money, right?
This is your first signing day as a journalist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Covering from the other side.
Tell you what, it is all over the place.
It's been a fun couple of weeks. I don't know if fun is the right word. Yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I mean,
it was really slow, and it's just kind of picked up. You're starting to see some announcements lately. Got some big ones coming today. This is Tuesday. We're recording Tuesday morning, December the 14th. We are one day away from the early signing period. Probably going to be known soon as signing day officially, but we'll stay technical. First day of early signing period.
This is my first one as a journalist per se, but to me, just from a perspective of always following signing day really closely, I don't know if Auburn in the past 3 or 4 years, maybe 5, has had such an exciting finish because, and things can still go a lot of different ways. I'm not saying everything's locked down and it's going to be great, or I'm not saying that it's going to be a fail or anything like that. Things can happen still. There's a lot of time left with 24 hours, believe it or not. But I mean, in the past couple of years, did it seem like there were this many different guys that Auburn had a realistic shot with at the end?
No, and only because I think they like to spread them out and kind of have some momentum going into signing day. I think we would have probably seen a couple that were doing it to this week and even on Wednesday, doing a week before, and just kind of spread them out. But this staff is going all in on this week. We saw who was it? Marquise Gilbert last night, the top JUCO safety commit to Auburn Monday night, and then Austin Osbury, the 4-star cornerback from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, commit to Auburn. Both big for Auburn. Then today we've got Inichi Sledge. By the way, you were right, Cole. Inichi. Have we talked since then?
No, we have not.
I called him, dude, and I was like, "Hey, Inichi," and he was like, "Dude, you're the first guy that's ever got my name right." I was like, "Hat tip to Cole Pinkston."
Oh, look, not me. I got it from a board poster. I can't remember.
Okay, all right. Well, hat tip to that guy.
They corrected us. They called us rednecks. They said, y'all just don't know how to pronounce things. I was like, okay, well, yeah, that's fine.
Well, I appreciate that. That's a nice compliment.
He didn't go there. He just corrected us in a nice way. I was like, okay, well, we'll get it right next time.
It makes much more sense than Ennis or Enos. Just don't put a P in front of it. So you've got Sledge. We'll just call him Sledge. Sledge going Tuesday at 1 p.m. We feel very good about him. He came in for an official visit this past weekend. Got a top 5, but he told me going into the visit that Auburn was number 1. He left the visit Sunday. Didn't really declare Auburn a leader. I think he's wanting to leave some suspense, but we all feel really good about him.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday night, another big one in Jadarian Rim.
Yes, that's a big one.
I liked how Auburn had 2 defensive backs yesterday, going to have a defensive lineman and a cornerback today. And I feel like Rim and Osbury have been the 2 top cornerback recruits for Auburn.
Yeah, I think so.
Going to nail them down today. And then Wednesday, Cole, do you have your announcement schedule handy?
Yeah, I got it right here.
I know that Justin Williams is going to get things started off at 8 a.m. Still kind of a toss-up with him. I'm really –
That's going to be 7 Central.
Oh, my gosh. Is it really?
It is. So so just don't even go to sleep. Just stay up all through the night and be ready for that one, I guess.
Well, me and B. Matt and Jason Caldwell had talked about we used to always go to Byron's and eat breakfast before on signing day, and we'd get up to the complex at like 6 a.m. because I think 7 a.m. Eastern or Central Time It's the first time you can start sending in the facts. I don't even know if they do the
Yeah.
facts anymore. But so, Justin Williams, I appreciate you making me get up early.
Yeah. Next one, you might can get a little nap in between there, and Keontae Scott, who is at 10 Central, 10
Okay.
a.m.
That'll go. That's a nice little breathing room.
And then you'll go with the next one. It would be Camden Brown, who is announced at 11 a.m. And then you'll have all around the same time period Darius Clemens, Robert Woodyard, and Curtis Perry. He'll probably be last around 1 o'clock, but in that noon, 12 to 1 time frame, we're thinking those three are going to kind of be kind of like a chain reaction there, 3 in a row of announcements. So,
is that the last one that day?
Yes, the last one. Jeffrey Imba, the JUCO D lineman from France, is going to have a decision on Wednesday around that time at 12. He's not going to release it publicly until December 19th, which is Saturday.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's
and he's going to do it from live television in France, some news channel in France, which I don't know. That would be a first for me. I don't know if that's ever been done before, but
an international commitment.
International. Yep.
Okay, well, let's go down. Okay, so we feel good about Sledge. I think we both feel good about Rim. Auburn right now is at 13 commitments, which is what they started off with Monday morning.
Yep.
They got 2, but they also have lost 2. I wouldn't say lost, but Drew Bobo, son of Mike Bobo, we said since the day Mike Bobo got fired that Drew would not end up at Auburn. He didn't publicly decommit. We didn't expect him to, but he went to Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, this past weekend and committed to Georgia, which was the school that finished second to Auburn. So good for him. Drew's an awesome dude. I really liked him. I really like him. Big fan, man. I hope he goes and does well at Georgia. Also, last night, Monday night, we had news that Kobe Albert, the 4-star athlete defensive back from Fairfield, who had been a commitment since August, is no longer expected to sign with Auburn. I took him off the commitment list. It looks like Auburn's filling up. And I don't know that it's I really don't know the reasons. And I hate to guess because I know I will say this. I think Kobe Albert was aware of this. I don't think he found out from us that he was not going to sign with Auburn. So I think that was there was some confusion last night on the board. However, I don't know the details there. I just only know that he will not sign with Auburn. I took him off the commitment list. Drew Bobo is committed to Georgia now. So Auburn's starting the day Tuesday with 13 commitments. Sledge at 1, JD Rim at 5 Central Time. Is that right? Cool.
Yes, 5
o'clock Central Time. We expect both of those guys to join Auburn's class. And then Wednesday, as Cole was saying, several guys coming off the board. I wanted to go down the list right now of what's left for Auburn, who's left for Auburn, kind of how we feel. If you haven't checked out Auburn Live on 3, you should. We've got War Room. We got recruiting predictions on all of these guys, and we're keeping up with it almost twice daily now. We're going to do that up until tomorrow. Probably put out the last one probably late tonight. I want to try to figure out what's going on with the running back board, the wide receiver board. As we know, Darius Clemens from Oregon, Camden Brown from South Florida, those 2 guys are very high on Auburn's board. Kind of feel like I want to get one of those guys. I don't think it's going to be Darius Clemens. He went to Michigan this past weekend. A lot of buzz out of Ann Arbor with him. Camden Brown, on the other hand, went to Georgia this past weekend. I don't know if Georgia's going to push hard for him, which could be good news for Auburn. Camden Brown is, and I'm going to tell you, I like Camden Brown, Cole.
Oh, I do too.
And you know more about the physical skills of these guys than I do. But if I'm starting a team and I've got a wide receiver spot and I've got Darius Clemens and Camden Brown to choose from, I'm going with Camden Brown.
Yeah, no, they are close. They're very similar in the way they play. Both deep threats, both 6'3", both close to 200 pounds. I mean, you have a guy on your roster right now in Xavier Capers who came in at 6'3", but he was what, 175, 180
Yeah,
pounds?
he was a
Okay.
stick.
So these guys are a little bit more developed right now. They got a little. They're already got some muscle packed on. They're going to do well in the strength program. I think both are ready to come in and contribute to wherever they choose to go. And Camden Brown, as you can see here late in the process, started getting the attention from all the big boys.
Mhm.
Georgia, who else was on his list? Some other pretty big schools as well after he decommitted from Pittsburgh. So
Yeah, Florida State.
yeah, Florida State, South Carolina, um, definitely got more attention towards the end there. Auburn, had a chance at him in the first time around,
Yeah.
and here we are again. They
I
got another.
I wonder if there were some academic concerns back in the summer because if you'll remember the running back Jordan Bailey, who was committed to Pitt as well. Jordan Bailey is a fantastic running back, really good. He's got some great film. He was committed to Pitt, I believe, and so was Camden Brown. And I was told by a college coach, there's a reason that they're committed to Pitt and not somebody else. And this an SEC or is Pitt in the ACC now? Shit, I can't remember.
Yeah, ACC.
Yeah, well, I don't consider them ACC. So. But there was a reason. So I'm wondering if there might have been some academic concerns in the summer going into their senior years, and at least Camden Brown has cleaned up some of that because it looks like Auburn's ready to take him if they can get him.
Yep. They would definitely.
So right now, let's go down the board, Cole. We've got Anichi Sledge, Auburn.
About Sledge, there's been some questions. He's a 3-star guy. He's a Baylor decommitment. I guess some people have looked at his choices and said, well, Auburn kind of stands out to those other schools.
Well, Texas Tech, Baylor, Indiana, Oklahoma State. Those are his 5 in Auburn.
Well, let me just explain this, the best way I know how. They want Sledge. When they started recruiting him, he became an immediate priority because he's one of the few guys they found that they thought was a true fit at the nose guard position, which is why they went to the portal last year and got a guy like Tony Fair, who came on stronger at the end of the year. Didn't have the impact we thought maybe he could. But the point is, that's the kind of guy they want in that spot particularly, and they think that can change the defense, and they think Sledge is that guy. I mean, they scoured the whole landscape just trying to find somebody who fit that role, and they thought he was the guy. That's just what I've been told on him. So, depending on how you trust the staff's evaluation, that's where it's at right now.
I got to see him Sunday when he left his official visit from Auburn. Dude is jacked. I mean, he's maybe 6'2", 6'3", and just thick as shit, man. I mean, he is he looks like what I wish Tony Fair looked like.
Yeah.
And I mean, this kid's coming out of high school, man. He's thick.
Maybe
he's got some girth to him.
A little bit more compact, maybe, than Tony Fair is. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of maybe a Dontavius Russell type. That's kind of what he reminds me.
And I tell you, I went and watched it. He told me, like, go watch my senior film. And I was like, well, I'm not an analyst, dude, but I'll go watch it, man. Dude, he's really good. He's very impressive on film. I thought his senior year was very good. I didn't watch his junior year, but looked good to me.
Yeah. So Auburn definitely wants him. That they have made him a priority.
And here's something that hasn't gotten I don't think official mention, but we talked about Bobo, we talked about Albert. Another thing to keep an eye on for the defensive line when taking Sledge and maybe looking at the portal for a defensive lineman or two is that Caden Story, the 4-star defensive lineman from Lynette, who's been committed to Auburn since the summer, I believe. Been some buzz, and I don't see Story signing with Auburn. I don't think we'll see a decommitment. I don't think we'll see Auburn drop him, at least not yet, but I don't expect him to stay with Auburn. Ben Thomas from AL.com had a story on Monday about Caden Story's father, who is also his high school coach. They were going to delay their signing until February, and I thought that was a little odd. And after digging around, it looks like both parties are just kind of moving on. I mean, I really don't, I don't want to get into specifics. I don't really know the specifics.
It feels like it could be heading that way is kind of the way it feels at the moment. And here's the reason. And I sort of wrote and hinted at this in the Recruiting Insider that we put up last night. Well, first of all, you don't have a dire depth need right now on the defensive line unless you have some people transfer, which of course is never off the table. So maybe they don't feel as though they have to reach. Maybe they feel like they've got a couple guys coming that they, are maybe higher on the board and they think that can play early, whatever the case. Plus, don't forget, when you don't have this dire need, you look to the next class. Well, that class, the 23,
Oh,
my goodness, it is loaded with defensive linemen.
it's
Yeah,
studs in state too. I mean, if you get half the
yeah,
guys in state, you're getting 3 studs.
yeah, yeah. Well, you got T.J. Parker, James Smith, Peter
Peter
Woods,
Woods,
Keldrick Falk. I mean, look, they feel pretty good about some of those guys too.
right?
They've got them on campus a few times. So I'm wondering if that maybe plays into it some. And again, I'm not saying Story's out yet, but it just feels like it might be heading that way.
Yeah, yeah. If somebody asked me right now, I would say Caden Story will not be part of Auburn's 2022 class.
Yeah,
But I do think I like Sledge. No, they're 2 different players, right? Gold Sledge is going to be kind of a nose guy, whereas Story was more of a 3-5.
Well,
I don't know.
Story, when they first got him and when they first started recruiting him, and I watched his film as a junior, he looked more like he could be. I'm not going to say he'd be the edge guy like Derek Hall does or T.D. Moultrie, more of the Colby Wooden role, kind of.
Arlen Davidson.
Yeah, yeah, but he's gotten bigger since then. Every time I've seen him, he looks a lot bigger than he did on film, and I think he's a little heavier now, and he's probably going to move inside eventually. That's just what his frame, that's what his frame looks like, and his ability. He's not the guy that's going to rush the passer all the time. He's more suited to play inside, and maybe that's why there was a change. I don't know.
I missed the days of when it was either nose tackle, defensive tackle, strong side in, or weak side in. Man, those were the simple days.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, where did those terms go? Oh my goodness. Okay. Hey, let's keep working our way down the list, Cole. Jadarian Rims going off the board today. We love Robert Woodyard. He's committed to Alabama, 4-star linebacker from Mobile. He's going to have a final decision on Wednesday around noon, as Cole said. We like Auburn there. Cornerback Keontae Scott, the JUCO cornerback, probably the top JUCO cornerback in the country. We like Auburn there to go along with the top safety from junior college ranks, Marquise Gilbert. So you've got 2 of the top JUCO defensive backs, 2 of the top high school defensive backs, Jadarian Rim and Austin Osbury. And let's don't forget about Caleb Wooden.
Yep.
And Trey Donaldson, although I'm kind of forgetting about him. He's going to be a point guard.
Yes.
and then some big. I got 3 defensive linemen for you, Cole. We got Jeffrey Imba. We talked about he's going to be announcing from France on December the 19th. We'll know about him a week before Christmas there, but we really like Auburn there. Curtis Perry. And I didn't think I would be saying this, but man, oh man, here comes Auburn. And AU Tigers 07 was like, dude, stay away. I was like, me too, man. I'm staying away from the.
Oh yeah,
I'm staying away, dude. It's Alabama until it's not.
Yeah.
And then last night, maybe yesterday afternoon, I'm still just denying it. And people are like, hey. And I'm like, no. And then last night, the one guy that I trust goes, kind of feel pretty good about him. I'm like, shut up.
Look, you're not going to get a prediction from me. There will be no crystal ball, any of that, none of that.
Yeah, right.
But I'll tell you that sources at Alabama, definitely view Auburn as the threat. I don't know how far that goes. Have they ever viewed Auburn as a threat? Here's what's interesting.
For a guy they really wanted.
Right. And we just talked about Robert Woodyard. And again, I just don't see Alabama leaving a guy on their commit list that they wouldn't take. That's just me. They don't seem to ever do that. They've been known to just drop you if they weren't going to take you, or if they thought that somebody else was going to get you, or whatever. So they still got him on the commit list. I know that they've at least somewhat recruited him up to this point and seen and felt him out. And even though Auburn's made the big push, well, as we talked about before, they've also made big pushes on Emmanuel Henderson.
Yeah.
He didn't bite the same way that maybe Woodyard did, but they tried to get Antonio Kite on campus about 3 or 4 times this year. the point is,
Kobe Prentice.
Kobe Prentice is another one. We heard some small rumblings that Jaheim Otis had been recruited by Auburn. You know, he's stuck with Alabama. He's going to stick with Alabama. But the point is, it seems like Harsin and his staff right now maybe are putting a little bit more heat on Bama than what they felt from Auburn before. So that's why they're kind of like, okay, well, you know, Perry seems to like them a lot. He's told them some good things. We're still Bama. We're still pretty confident we can get him, but you know, they're working pretty hard on him over there. So we'll see.
Very
what happens.
interesting develops. Right. I've got Curtis Perry. I moved him from 45, which was a slight Bama lean, to 55, which is a slight Auburn lean. I cannot imagine me getting any higher than that. Again, if gun to the head, I'm going right now Auburn, but the gun ain't to my head, and I don't expect it to be. If it is, y'all come get me. Another in-state defensive lineman committed elsewhere is Tay Woody from Lafayette.
Yes.
Committed to Florida State. Got to Auburn late Saturday night for an official visit. Left late Sunday night, the last day of on-campus contact, and I've got a pretty good feeling about him.
Yeah. And I think he was going to wait to sign regardless.
That's what he says. He told us Sunday night, I'm going to wait till February. But and I don't have any reason to think he won't, but I'm definitely going to keep him on the board and kind of keep an eye on him. I think if nothing else, I really don't see him being committed to Florida State, even if he waits till February. Yeah, in a couple, I think he could open things up, take visits to each place in January, and then make a final decision in February.
Right. I agree.
I think that's the most likely outcome, at least right now, moving forward with him. But I really like, so you think about Tay Woody, Curtis Perry, Jeffrey Emba, Inichi Sledge.
Yep.
Damn good haul on the defensive line, Cole.
Yeah, and you know, Tay Woody's still versatile. He's still got the opportunity to play offensive line if that was needed, you know, and I think he probably understands that. They probably talked to him about that. So regardless, it really seems like Woody is interested in Auburn, and he has been the whole time. And, you know, at one point we were like, no doubt he's going to flip to Auburn. I mean, no doubt.
And then it was like, no doubt he's going to stick with Florida State.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I ever got to that point with that.
We always both kind of said, you know, I don't think the door's closed yet. I mean,
he was saying all the right things. He was saying, I'm 100% committed to Florida State, but I'm still going to visit Auburn. That's what he said after his Florida State visit.
That's how it goes down the stretch.
Sure.
He's a highly wanted guy. They got him back down to Florida State. They made him feel welcome. They made him feel good. And they said, and he comes out of that going, okay, I think I'm happy with my choice. And then here comes Auburn a couple of days later. Hey, glad you had a good time, but hey, don't forget about us over here. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how it happens. And if Auburn had his heart in the first place, they're 30 minutes down the road from where he lives, you know, then they could win out in the end. That's just how that goes. And I'll tell you this too, you know, it was kind of thrown around that he was going to be on campus, and then he was in the All-Star game in Hattiesburg. Well, I think that was a good move by Auburn, because they could have said, okay, well, you know, you don't have much time to take this official visit. Let's go ahead and get that done. Instead, they said, go play in the All-Star game you got selected for your state, and then whenever you get done with that, come see us.
Come on. Yeah. Stop by on your way home. That was a fun Friday night because Jason Caldwell was in the same boat as I was, Cole.
Yeah.
Well, the people we were asking didn't understand the specifics that we were asking, and even Tay Woody told Jason, like, "Yeah, I'm here," or and Jason said, "I woke up the next morning, I'm watching TV, and he's in Mississippi." I said, "That's what happened with me." Cole called, said he's playing on. I'm looking at him on TV in Mississippi. I said, "Well, damn."
I just watched him run down the quarterback.
So that'll be something we watch. I'll keep an eye on it Wednesday just in case, but certainly moving forward in February. Another guy that says he could wait until February is Trevonte Citizen, the 4-star running back from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Yeah.
And Man, I tell you, I don't know what's going to happen on the running back board. Justin Williams, we talked about him earlier, is announcing 8 a.m. Eastern time Wednesday. Auburn or Tennessee for him. He went on an official visit this past weekend to Tennessee. Man, I just don't know. I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't.
Between him and Justin Williams, that's been an ongoing thing. Just I don't know either. That's been a conundrum. There's no way to predict that one at all. So
yeah, I hope to know. I hope to have some clarification at least on Justin Williams today, and if so, I'll disclose that tonight on the corner, which is Auburn Live on Three's big time recruiting message board. I wouldn't say recruiting message board. It is right now.
Yeah.
But so really curious to see what happens with running back. I mean, I could see if Auburn feels like they have a legitimate shot with Trevonte Citizen, getting him in February, do they take Justin Williams tomorrow? I don't know.
Yep.
Don't know.
It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out.
That and wide receiver recruiting, because that brings us to the next guy. I've got Justin Williams as a toss-up right now. I got Trevonte Citizen trending down just because I feel like if it was going to be Auburn, he's going to sign. He's seen everything he can from Auburn.
Yeah.
Same for Darius Clemens. And so Trevonte Citizen doesn't sign Wednesday. I think the likelihood of him signing with Auburn goes down a little bit. So I've got him at 40. I've got Justin Williams as a toss-up right now. The guy I still have Auburn. Well, I moved up a little bit, was Camden Brown. I moved him up to 55%, slight Auburn edge, because right now I don't know where he would sign if it's not Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If Georgia, in fact, is not having room, not making a push, I'm thinking Auburn might have a slight edge with Camden Brown, who we talked about earlier. We both love.
Yeah.
A couple of more guys still on the board, but fallen. I think Demario Tolan, 4-star linebacker, that's committed to Louisiana. He's left some doubt as to he kind of wants some suspense. I feel like he sticks with LSU. I dropped him down to 25%. Auburn made a good push there. I think Auburn will look. Hey, don't forget about the North Carolina transfer linebacker, Eugene Asante, who came in for an official visit this past weekend. Incognito,
very, very quietly. Yeah.
Very quietly. So he's a guy to be. And he could sign. He could. Is that what they do, or do they just transfer?
Man, I don't know. They're all different. It seems like with the portal.
Well, I think they signed and announced like Iku Leota and Marcus Harris and those guys last year. Did they just declare they're enrolling?
I thought I had a good handle on how that worked. And then Tyrone Truesdale transferred from Auburn and then was playing for Florida about 2 weeks later. Like, I just don't know how that happens. I just don't understand. Man, he transferred from Auburn. It was late, right? Wasn't it?
It was right before the season, though, right?
Yeah, he played. He was playing.
Immediately eligible.
If I remember, I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me. But I'm pretty sure I saw him playing for Florida very soon after that transfer, and I was like, because I remember being like, man, I thought I had this figured out. How did that happen so fast? So
well, that's anyway. True. Well, anyway, so to round out the board, we still got Tyree West and Julian. Tyree West is a defensive lineman from Tifton, Georgia, committed to UGA. Don't see that happening. Auburn canceled his visit last week. I think there's still some concern about him. He's still on the board. I don't see him signing with Auburn. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. And offensive tackle Julian Armella, who came in for an official visit 2 weeks ago. Auburn's in his final 5, but I've got him at a 10% chance. Not much. What will happen after Auburn finish? And I'm looking at, so Cole, let's say we got Auburn with 13 commitments, right?
Correct.
And we like Sledge, Rim, Woodyard, Scott, Imba, Perry. That's 6, so that's 19. Maybe Camden Brown.
Yeah.
A running back and a linebacker. That's 9, so that puts us at 22, which is kind of what we thought. And I would, what I'm guessing, 20 to 22 plus all the transfers.
Yeah, that was kind of the range we had talked about earlier in the year. So
And then last night we've both put up some transfer names. I know Cole had a lot of offensive line guys. Last night I had some information I thought I'd pass on, some transfers to keep an eye on this that have already entered the portal. Is the cornerback DJ James from Oregon. Also from Oregon, we have Jason Jones is the defensive lineman from, I think, Calera.
He's from Calera. Yeah, I knew I recognized that name.
I don't think he's gotten to the portal yet. I haven't seen it, and that's just my quick Google search. So don't quote me on that. But he's a name to keep an eye on. Keaton Slovis, quarterback from USC. You know, Auburn's going to be looking for a quarterback now that Bo Nix is transferring out. So you've got TJ Fields, you got D Davis, but they need some competition in there with a lot of experience. Keaton Slovis being one of those.
He can play too. Slovis can play.
We talked about Eugene Asante, the North Carolina linebacker, and the Tylen Grable you've mentioned several times, Cole, the offensive tackle from Jacksonville State. A couple of other names we've heard from LSU that could be entering the portal is Kayshon Boutte. Shit, you asking the wrong person. And the quarterback, Max Johnson. Both, I think Max Johnson has entered the portal.
Yes, he has.
Boutte. Oh, I like that. Is a guy rumored to be in the portal. A couple of others, Miles Frazier, the offensive tackle from FIU. Auburn visited him a couple of weeks ago, but he came out with a top three. Didn't include Auburn. He's from New Jersey. It would have been I guess he's from New Jersey. It's not like he's from the South or anything. He's probably going to get back closer to home. Who were some other Bobby Haskins, a couple of guys from Virginia. Was it Virginia?
Yeah, Virginia.
Olu, which I think.
Yes.
Olu, Bobby Haskins, the guy from Western Kentucky.
Yeah, Mason Brooks.
Mason Brooks, yes. So there are several. That list I put out last night was just some new guys. Cole has had these guys listed for a while now. So offensive line recruiting.
I was also told on the quarterback that Zach Calzada was definitely going to get a look. He had already gotten a look. They are interested, so we'll see what happens there.
And I just got a note sent to me. Clemson OGOT Paul Ticcio.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on him. Auburn will go heavily after the transfer in the transfer portal for offensive line recruiting. Again, Jalen Farmer, the offensive lineman from Florida.
Yes. No, he is committed to Florida. He's from Covington, Georgia.
Newton.
Yeah.
That's where all the big dog in basketball are. Sky Newton, Kane, Carlisle, I think. I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, big school, man. So anyways, February we'll be addressing a lot more of the offensive line because you'll have transfers coming in. You'll have some guys in high school going there. All right, folks. So what we're going to do today, put out this recruiting podcast. We're going to have a commitment at 1 p.m. Central Time. We're going to have a commitment at 5 p.m. Central Time. We feel good about Auburn's chances with both. We're going to update our predictions tonight. The night before signing day, we'll have a class prediction. Cole, start getting your class prediction ready. And then in the morning, we're going to be full bore. We might have something special for you on signing day as far as coverage goes. I don't want to put it out there because you and we aren't the most tech savvy people. Yeah. So I don't want to put the cart before the horse.
No, I definitely don't fall into that category, even though I am the youngest of the group.
Yeah, right. So keep an eye out for our signing day coverage tomorrow. We are going. I'm gonna give a couple of how about yous real quick. I got a couple of So you know the recruiting finger, right?
The recruiting finger.
Recruiting finger, right? Is that what Harsin does? Is that where it's coming from?
Yeah, he does it. There's a theory going around. There's a theory going around right now. Have you heard this theory?
Oh no.
I've seen it.
I believe it already, though.
I've seen it on our on Twitter, not on our board specifically. If he does this in a picture, Auburn's getting that guy. Have you heard this?
No, doesn't he do that in all the pictures?
It seems like he does. But some guy put together a compilation on Twitter. He tagged me in it a couple of days ago, and he said, "Have you noticed that everybody that Harsin's done this with is in the class right now, or is trending to Auburn?" And I was like, Okay. So I'm watching for that.
Huh.
I don't know if it's 100%, but he put a compilation together. He had me convinced for a minute there. I was like, huh, interesting.
I believe all conspiracy theorists, so that sounds good. So, anyways, so this has become a thing on the bunker, and it's even got its own emoji, right? And one dude
Yep.
was he did two of them like this, and at Jay Chillin did a picture of the paper football. Are you too young to remember paper football?
No,
Paper football.
man.
Okay, all right.
Football.
All right. Jay Chillin, big how about you, man? That was hilarious. At Torqued, there was a picture of an in-home visit. He said, a dude on the left tried to sell me a subscription to DirecTV. Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh,
and then at Johnny 2104.
Jaunty.
He nominated at Bobby Sweatpants for a How About You? And I'm debating it.
He's been all over it.
Yeah, man, Bobby Sweatpants, good stuff. At Torch, we talked about him. At Chiquillo Fred Beasley, big how about you to him. At Metallic Aub, big how about you to him. But the biggest how about you of the week goes to at Auburn. Barn. Like I can't say barn. All barn. Dude, he trolled the hell out of Pat 40.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, that was good.
All barn sent this guy. Was it 40? Is that right?
Yes,
40. Who is just he can't stand Bruce Pearl. And after the sanctions came out, or the NCAA rulings came out earlier, what's today? Tuesday. So I guess it was last week. And he sent 40 an email saying he has some information on Bruce Pearl. 40 said, "What's your information?" He sent him back a picture. Big L. Hilarious, man. Big how about you?
That was so good.
All ball.
They have had our board posters have had me rolling this week, man.
Dude, it's been on fire, man. It's really growing. We love our subscribers. We love our posters. It's been a lot of fun. This is going to be our first signing day at Auburn Live on 3. And if you haven't joined, you should. We've got a special right now, free 7-day trial. It's only $8 per month. After that, man, it's like a cute dog, ain't that right? Cool.
That's correct.
Can't beat it.
You can't beat it.
So y'all stay tuned now. We're going to have a lot of content on Auburn Live on 3 throughout the day. We're going to have a big time signing day on Wednesday. And we will, I don't know that we'll be back, Cole. We've got so much work in these podcasts take us away, man. But we're going to try to do our best. We'll definitely have something for you Wednesday on signing day. So y'all keep an eye out on that.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, stay out of the left lane, because if I pass you on the right, you're an idiot. How about you?